What if someone invades your dreams and steals your most precious secret, locked away in the vault of your mind? What if someone plants a seed in your thoughts which slowly grows into a tree that changes your entire life? This is not a joke, but a reality that governs the world of our hero in today's story. The ocean waves washed him ashore. Cobb, disoriented, woke from unconsciousness. His blurry eyes saw two children building sandcastles on the beach. They were his own children, or perhaps his memories. Yearning to go near them, he tried to get up, but his body wouldn't cooperate. Just then, a Japanese guard approaches, picks up Cobb's wetsuit at gunpoint, and sees that Cobb has a pistol. The guards take him to a luxurious Japanese mansion. Inside sat the old man, the boss of the area. The guard said, "Boss, we found a man on the beach who was taking your name." The guards placed the items found on Cobb, a gun and a small spinning top, before him. Upon seeing the spinning top, an old hazy memory flickered in the old man's eyes. At his gesture, Cobb was brought in. The old man first fed Cobb, then asked, "Did you come here to kill me?" Cobb remained silent. The old man picked up the spinning top and said, "I know what this is. I remember a dream, a man who could change the world with his thoughts. I saw this thing with him." Saying this, the old man spun the top. The top begins to spin and keeps spinning, never stopping. Then a glint appears in Cobb's eyes, as if a great secret has been revealed to him. And with this, our story travels back in time to where this whole game began. Meet Dominic Cobb. Cobb and his partner Arthur are no ordinary thieves. They don't steal gold, silver, or money. Instead, they steal ideas. Yes, they are the cunning thieves who can enter anyone's dream and extract their biggest secrets from their mind. Currently, they are trying to steal a business idea from a big businessman, Saito. But how? Friends, all this is possible thanks to an amazing technology called a passive device, or in simple terms, a dream machine. This suitcase-like machine not only takes anyone into the world of dreams, but also allows multiple people to share one person's dream. Meaning a full-on multiplayer game is happening in dreams. Unlike ordinary dreams, your mind remains fully active in these dreams. You can create anything with your imagination, and you remember everything after waking up. The military developed it to train soldiers, allowing them to practice warfare in dreams without any real danger. But as it happens, the technology leaked and fell into the hands of people like Cobb, who are called extractors. So Cobb and Arthur have entered Saito's dream. They have designed the dream to resemble Saito's own hotel to avoid suspicion. Cobb is trying to convince Saito that he has come to save him from dream thieves. Cobb says, "Mr. Saito, an idea gets stuck in a corner of the mind. Any extractor can steal it. I can help you, but for that you'll have to tell me the idea so I can protect it." Saito was a shrewd player. He smiled and said, "You guys enjoy the party. I'll think about it and let you know." And with that, he walked out. Cobb and Arthur understood something was fishy. Suddenly, an earthquake-like tremor is felt in the dream. In reality, it wasn't an earthquake, but the effect of real-world bomb blasts being felt in the dream. But the real earthquake was yet to come. In the dream, Cobb sees a woman. This was Mal, Cobb's wife, with whom a painful past was connected. Mal's appearance meant a danger alarm. Cobb's entire plan was about to be ruined. Mal told Saito the whole truth. She shot Arthur in the leg. Cobb knew that a gunshot in a dream wouldn't kill Arthur, just wake him up. But the pain would be real. Before Mal could do anything else, Cobb shot Arthur in the head, waking him from the dream.
Now Saito's subconscious mind was active, and his mind's guards, projections, attacked Cobb. On the other hand, upon waking, Arthur shouts, "Wake Cobb up!" But Cobb needed a kick to wake him. Kick means giving the sleeping person's body the sensation of falling, like dropping them into water or pushing them off a chair, so their mind pulls them out of the dream. But before the kick, the roof collapses on Saito's head in the dream, and he wakes up before Cobb. Meanwhile, in the dream, Cobb somehow opens Saito's secret file. But what's this? All the secrets in the file had been blacked out with a marker, meaning Saito already knew everything. Just then, Cobb is given a kick by being dropped into a tub of water, and he also wakes up. But it was too late now. But friends, the twist in the story was yet to come. What you had been considering the real world until now was also a dream. Yes, it was a dream within a dream, dream level 2. Cobb was so cunning that he had taken Saito so deep into dreams that Saito would forget the difference between reality and dream. But Cobb's architect, Nash, makes a small mistake. The carpet he designed in the dream was different from Saito's real carpet. Saito catches this, and all of Cobb's plans go awry. Saito says, "I have to admit, Cobb, a dream within a dream, but now this is my dream." Just then, riders break in and kill Cobb and Nash, and they both wake up from the dream and arrive in the real world, meaning the train. Just when they were coming to control Saito, the train had stopped suddenly, and Saito was dragged outside by his guards.
Their company, Kobol Engineering, was not going to let them live. Everyone flees to save their lives. Cobb was confused whether he had truly woken up or was still in a dream. To resolve this confusion, he used his totem. If the top spins and then stops, it means it's reality. And if it keeps spinning, it means Cobb is still in a dream. Thankfully, the top stopped. Just then, Cobb gets a call from his children. He hadn't seen his children for years because his wife Mal's death had made him a fugitive and he couldn't return to his home country, America. Cobb and Arthur were trying to escape, but they got a surprise in the helicopter. Saito was sitting inside, having captured their traitorous associate, Nash. But Saito didn't want to kill them. Instead, he wanted to offer them something. An impossible offer. Saito said, "Until now, you've been stealing ideas from minds. But now, you have to plant an idea in someone's mind. This is called Inception." Arthur immediately blurted out, "That's impossible. If I tell you not to think of a blue elephant, what will you think of first?" Saito, "A blue elephant." Arthur, "Exactly, because that idea wasn't yours, it was mine. The mind always knows where an idea came from."
Just then, Cobb said, "It's possible." Saito offered him an offer Cobb couldn't refuse. He said, "If you do this, I will have all charges against you dropped, and you can return to your children." That's it. What more could Cobb want? He asked, "Who is the target?" The target was Robert Fisher, who was about to become the sole heir to his father's vast energy company. Saito wanted Cobb to plant the idea in Robert's mind that he should break up his father's company. Now began Mission Impossible. No, Mission Inception preparations. For this impossible task, Cobb needed a dream team. First, a new architect, one who could design the dream world. For this, Cobb went to Paris and with the help of his father-in-law, recruited a genius student named Ariadne into his team. When Ariadne discovered the power of the dream world, she was stunned. She could bend entire cities with her imagination, destroy them. Then came Eames, the forger, a chameleon. He could take on anyone's form in the dream, meaning he could betray you by appearing as your friend in the dream. And most importantly, Yusuf, the chemist. A chemist who could create such a powerful sedative that the team could go 3 levels deep into dreams and no one would wake up in between. And finally, Saito, the tourist. Saito said, "Brother, my money is invested, so I'll also come along to see if the work is being done properly or not," meaning an uninvited guest.
The team was ready. The plan was also ready. They were going to plant this idea in Robert's mind. "I will not follow in my father's footsteps. I will create something of my own." This was a positive idea that Robert could easily adopt as his own because Robert's relationship with his father wasn't particularly good. To execute this mission, they needed a 10-hour window where Robert was sleeping and no one would disturb them. And such an opportunity presented itself on a 10-hour flight from Sydney to Los Angeles. Saito showed his wealth here and bought the entire airline, meaning now only our team, target Robert Fisher, and some staff were on the plane. In Sydney, Robert's father had died and he was taking his body to Los Angeles. On the plane, Cobb's team gave him a drink laced with sedatives, and Robert fell into a deep sleep. With that, they all connected to the dream machine and entered Robert's dream world. Level 1. Yusuf's dream, a rainy city. According to the plan, they had to kidnap Robert. They hijacked a taxi and kidnapped Robert. Everything was going according to plan until a giant train came roaring down the street and destroyed everything. And then suddenly, armed men started firing indiscriminately at them. Who were these? These were Robert Fisher's mind's security guards. Someone had already trained Robert's mind to fight dream thieves. Cobb's mission was in danger from the very beginning. They were stuck in a mind that was as secure as a fortress.
And then the biggest threat to the mission emerged. In this shootout, Saito was severely injured. Now you might be thinking, oh, what happens if you get shot in a dream? You'll just wake up. No, here was a huge twist. The sedative Yusuf had made was so powerful that if anyone died in a dream, they wouldn't wake up. Instead, they would go to limbo. That is, the hell of dreams. A place where there is nothing but the forgotten memories of those who once got lost there. It's an uncontrolled dream world where time has no meaning. Spending a few hours there could be like spending 50 years in the real world. A person can wander there forever and even forget their own reality. Cobb's team had very little time now. They had to complete the mission and get Saito out of all levels before he went into limbo. Cobb played his masterstroke here. He lied to Robert. Robert, your life is in danger. Your godfather Browning sent us into your dream to steal your secrets. We have come to save you. This was brilliant reverse psychology. Cobb convinced Robert that this dream wasn't his, but Cobb's team's, and they wanted to go deeper into his subconscious mind to save him. Naive Robert fell for their words. Now he was going to help them break open his own mental vault. Now the plan was to go to the second level of the dream. Level 2, Arthur's Dream, a magnificent hotel. Friends, you need a kick to get out of dreams, remember? So the team devised a brilliant synchronized kick plan. In level 1, Yusuf will drive the van off a bridge into the water. The sensation of the van falling will act as the first kick for the team in level 2. In level 2, Arthur will prepare another kick that will wake those in level 3. But nothing is straightforward in the world of dreams. The goal of level 2 was to plant a seed of doubt in Robert's mind against his godfather, Browning. Here, Ames, the forger, first distracted Robert by taking the form of a beautiful girl and then assumed the form of Robert's godfather, Browning. He whispered into Robert's ear that his father had left a secret will for him, which would clear up all misunderstandings between them. This was the bait to take Robert to the third and final level of dreams. But then, in level 1, Yusuf's van stumbles and hangs precariously from the bridge. And because gravity was messed up in the first level, its effect directly impacted level 2. Suddenly there was zero gravity in the hotel. Everything floated in the air. This scene remains one of Hollywood's most spectacular action sequences. Now Arthur faced a new challenge: how to deliver a kick in zero gravity, how to create the sensation of falling. Arthur improvised. He gathered all his sleeping teammates in a lift and planted bombs on the lift's cables so that the shock of falling could be felt by the explosion. Now the team reaches the third and final level of the dream. Level 3, Eames's Dream, a hospital-like fortress built on snowy mountains. It was the most secure part of Robert's mind. Here was the vault, which held his secret will. But this vault was guarded by an entire army of guards. A fierce action scene takes place here. But the real enemy wasn't outside, it was within Cobb. At the crucial moment, Cobb's wife Mal's memories once again invaded his dream, and this time she shot Robert Fisher himself. Robert died and went straight to limbo. Saito was also counting his last breaths. The mission had almost failed.
Cobb had no choice now. He told Ariadne his deepest and most painful secret. He revealed how, years ago, he and Mal had gotten so lost in the dream world that they had created a world of their own in limbo. They spent 50 years there. When Cobb brought her back to the real world, Mal refused to believe that it was reality. She thought she was still in a dream. And to wake up from this dream, Mal committed suicide by jumping out of a hotel window, and before dying, she blamed everything on Cobb so that Cobb would also wake up with her. This is why Cobb was a fugitive, and Mal's memories kept coming back as a villain to destroy his dreams. Now there was only one way to bring Robert and Saito back from limbo. Cobb and Ariadne also had to go to limbo. In limbo, Cobb confronted Mal once again, but this time, Cobb faced his memories and let Mal go. Ariadne found Robert and gave him a kick by pushing him off a building. Now, the final countdown began, the synchronized kick. In level 3, Ames used a defibrillator to shock Robert's heart. This was the kick to pull Robert's soul back from limbo. At that very moment, in level 2, Arthur detonated the bomb in the lift. This was kick 2. And at that very moment, in level 1, Yusuf's van plunged from the bridge into the water. This was kick 1.
Boom. And with this triple kick, Inception succeeded. Robert Fisher came back to life in level 3. He opened the vault, where he found his dying father. His father said, "I wasn't disappointed that you couldn't be like me, but because you tried to be like me." He told Robert to make his own identity. The idea had been planted in Robert's mind. I will make my own identity. One by one, everyone started waking up. First in level 1, then on the plane. But Cobb was left behind. He had to find Saito, who had by now reached limbo and grown old. And here the story returns to where it began. Cobb reminded the old Saito of his promise. Come back, so we can be young again. Both picked up their guns and woke up. The plane lands in Los Angeles. Cobb was nervous that he would be arrested at the airport, but Saito had kept his promise. The immigration officer stamped his passport and said, "Welcome home, Mr. Cobb." After years, Cobb returned home. He saw his children playing in the garden, just as he used to see them in his dreams. But was this real, or is it still a dream? To reassure himself, Cobb spun his totem, the small spinning top on the table. Cobb kept looking at it, but then he ignored the top and ran to hug his children. He didn't care anymore. For him, this was his reality. Did the top fall, or did it keep spinning? Director Christopher Nolan has never answered this question to this day. Perhaps he wants us to decide the answer ourselves. Because in the end, reality is not what happens, but what we choose to believe. An idea, a small seed planted in the mind which can change the whole world. This is the power of Inception. So friends, this was an incredible story of dreams within dreams. Do tell us in the comments how you liked this journey. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and share it. For more such exciting movie stories, do subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one. Thank you.